Hi guys, how's it going? Um, what a terrible, terrible game. Just a cesspool of offensive line play, and I'm gonna come out firing. I need to take a swig of this right here. So you know what? The New York Giants, not much has changed. With the new coaching staff, and I'm tired of being a nice guy. I'm tired of being this whole loyalty thing, loyal to Eli Manning, loyal to Odell Beckham, loyal to Saquon, loyal to this, loyal to that. What direction should the franchise go in? It's time to start hooking people when they don't get the job done. And, tonight Nate Solder wasn't very good. Dave Gettleman's job is up in the air right now. And I'll tell you what, too. I'll tell you what, man. It was bad. It was bad. Thank you guys for coming into the show. I'm going to talk about the Giants for a little bit, and then maybe I'll talk about your other NFL teams. Eli Manning's done. He's just too old, can't move in the pocket. And I need to see another year because Ben McAdoo was a terrible coach. Pat Shurmur's not that much better. He's probably a little bit better than Ben McAdoo. But Pat Shurmur's going to want to run these little short, long developing plays. And I don't like the guy. I don't like how he calls plays. I didn't like his decisions tonight to go for it. He doesn't get the ball out of Eli's hands quickly. He doesn't adapt at all. He has no emotion on the sidelines. He was a safe hire. I was all in on the hire before, not all in. I'm ready to give it a chance. I'm going to wait it out to the end of the season, but right now I'm leaning towards getting rid of the guy. Now, the New York Giants, the dark ages are upon the New York Giants. And what I was going to say is that the New York Giants, they need a savior. You know how Sean McVay was the savior for the LA Rams? The New York Giants are that bad, and I fought the Giants. I was wrong. I thought that last year, it was just Ben McAdoo, and maybe they played all right versus the Jags, and the Cowboys have a decent defense. But if I was a kid, I was 10 years old, I would never pick the New York Giants. If the Giants are trying to recruit people to be fans of their team, if they're an organization, a religion, or anybody, nobody would want to go to this team. Listen, they're a team, honestly, they're my team, but I'm sick watching their football. I'm sick watching them score 3 to 10 points, get no offensive plays, see Eli Manning just sit down and get sacked. I mean, he just is too old. He doesn't have the arm talent anymore. He barely was able to move, when he was younger. He can't move anymore, and he's just too old. He was a great quarterback. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He beat Tom Brady twice on the big stage. He's had a hell of a career, the best quarterback the Giants have ever had. I wanted Eli. Eli's been one of my favorite players, since 2004. Eli Manning, when I was about, 10 years old, he's been that staple in my life that I can watch Eli Manning play football. And it's just sad, but I'm to the point now where the team's so shitty, and I'm tired of watching us lose games that I'm ready to see him go. And that Odell Beckham contract is really looking horrible. The Giants are so capped on money. Dave Gettleman is just totally just stranded this entire team. And the Beckham contract was a terrible decision, and I'm ready to trade players if have to be. I'm ready to make impulsive decisions. I'm ready to get rid of coaches, get a new quarterback. I think the one guy that can save the New York Giants is maybe 3 people. I'm thinking maybe 4. The first guy that can probably save the New York Giants is Tua Tagovailoa. If and somehow we tank next year and get Tua, he's that exciting of a player. He's that magical that he just sparked magic into our team. Like, Mahomes sparked magic into Kansas City. Tua can be that guy for us. He can be the savior, the Messiah, because the Giants need a Messiah right now. The Messiah in the past was Bill Parcells and Lawrence Taylor. The Giants need magic. They need a reason to watch, and the quarterback is magic. Aaron Rodgers was that guy for Green Bay. Sean McVay was the messiah of the LA Rams. Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy G. You need that. So this team needs pop. It needs energy. It needs, you need offensive pop. You need offensive energy. And you need to have a spark. And this team has no spark anymore. The spark's pretty much gone. And people thought that by keeping Beckham around and by keeping Saquon in, that this team would have spark, but it doesn't. And you know what? I am going to criticize myself. I was wrong on the Giants 2 consecutive years. I had them winning the NFC East the year before when Ben McAdoo was there because I thought they had talent. And this year I talked myself into also picking them to win the NFC East. This team is just horrible. This offense is terrible. Pat Shurmur's supposed to be an offensive mind. He has no life. And because Pat Shurmur made no adjustments tonight when they were running those stunts. There's no coaching going on. There's no adjustments, you know. Eli should get the ball, fire quick slants, fire quick slants, fire quick slants, people in the holes. If they're bringing 4 and they're dropping everybody in the zone, just have Odell run and catch like 20 balls for 5 yards a pop. Just continue to do that. Continue to bleed. Continue to call more running plays. Just slam it up the gut time after time. Use some tempo. Use something creative. I mean, you guys are watching this Giants game. There was nothing creative the whole damn game. You're sitting there and you're waiting for something to happen, and it's the same shit show as last year. And I needed to see it. You know what I saw tonight? And boy, I'm waiting for the chat to recalibrate. I saw that the New York Giants, I saw that Eli Manning's done tonight. I saw that the Odell Beckham contract's going to be a disaster. I saw that this offensive line is still terrible. I saw that this team's nowhere close to being able to be any good. I saw that the coaching staff, that the Giants might need a new coach next year. That's what I saw. I don't give a shit if it's 1 year of Pat Shurmur. I'm impatient like all Giants fans. I want this shit to get fixed. And if you have to let a guy go after a year, just do it. You know, the Cleveland Browns, you know, they just hired the wrong people. New York Giants, you know, they'll say that the Giants are the Cleveland Browns, but you look at the Cleveland Browns, they've acquired good players. You know, they've never fought outside the box. And the LA Rams, the best move the Rams ever did, was hiring a 32-year-old with no experience. That was the best move that they've ever done because it was risky. You know, you talk to Bills fans that year when they got Sean McDermott and they're like, McDermott's been a defensive coordinator, has been around the league. I didn't want a 32-year-old. But the LA Rams did that, and look at where they are now. So, Vol Roadshow, I'll definitely come see you in Philly on Friday. Definitely, we'll try to set something up, man. Yeah, maybe. I don't know about the moderators. Maybe. I don't even know how that system works. But RK, it's I would tank for Tua, man. I would. Or Drew Lock. Drew Lock's going to be the next great one. But the Giants, man, I mean, Eli Manning is done. You know, I'm going to make another video. I'm the biggest Eli Manning fan probably out there. I thought he could make another run. He can't. He's too old and too slow. And tonight was just the final straw. You know, you thought that might have been the case. But to tell you the truth, that was the case, is that Eli Manning he can't move. And Drew Lock has that arm talent. Tua has that arm talent and that quickness. And that's the way that it has to go. And you need to get a new quarterback. Sam Darnold, to me, is not as good as Drew Lock or Tua. So Josh Rosen's kind of a head case. I want Tua or Drew Lock, okay? And you have to pick the right guy. Like when you're up there that high, if the right guy's not there, it's fine. Giants have Saquon. I don't care about wide receivers at all. I just want an offensive line. So if the Giants could have got Quentin Nelson, I would take him. They also need smart linemen. The problem is with the New York Giants is that on the right side of the line, when the Cowboys are running their stunt, they have no leadership across that offensive line. And nobody can communicate with each other. And that's the biggest problem, is even though these guys might be decent players by themselves, when the Cowboys were running stunts, there was no communication between Omane and Eric Flowers. Eric Flowers can't communicate at all. He just is not a loud guy, but he just doesn't talk, and there's no ownership of that offensive line group. And whoever the coach is should honestly, he might even have to be quiet. Yeah, I mean, I said Eli Manning still had a couple of years left. I said Eli Manning would be okay. The Giants defense is all right. Still no sacks on the quarterback, no explosive plays. So Eli Manning is just done at this stage in his career. He's had a great career, but the New York Giants, it's over. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs at all this year. I'd be stunned. I'd love to see it. I just don't know how this is going to happen with Pat Shurmur. Giving up Webb pissed me off with Shurmur. Signing Beckham to that contract, I think, was a terrible mistake, just putting that much money in. Even the Ogletree trade, just, I mean, and even Nate Solder's contract, I mean, is that really looking that great? Like, is the decisions that they're making looking really good? And I think that these decisions are horrible. And if I was a kid, like, and I had no rooting interest, the New York Giants are the most boring team in the NFL. They're always in prime time, and their games always suck, and their offense sucks. And watching it's really, because the way you watch football, I'm very glad that I'm even able to watch like other franchises. And I'm still a Giants fan, but watching the Chiefs, watching any other football team, Lions, 49ers, Denver Broncos, like that's football. The Giants don't even play football anymore. And it's more fun when their games are buried in a 1 o'clock hour where you can look over and see them on a side freaking TV. And then you can almost like chuckle and laugh and say, Eli's getting sacked and it's a cesspool. And then you can watch all the other teams go off, and you can watch other teams hit big plays, and you'll be on the Red Zone channel and there'll be a little blip on your radar, and you can watch them in the fourth quarter, like come up with ways to try to scrap in and stay in the game. But I'm just tired of Pat Shurmur. I'm tired of just all the stability. Because stability really doesn't mean a whole lot of anything if you're not winning freaking football games. I mean, this is the worst performance ever on Sunday night. It's the same story every single year. Ben McAdoo was a terrible coach. And you know what's weird? Like, I was watching Arkansas play. I was watching Tennessee play, but I was really watching Arkansas play this weekend, and even Nebraska, right? And they have Scott Frost and Chad Morris, right? And even Nebraska still loses football games. And you start to think, like, is there a systematic like thing in a culture that just decimates a team? Like, when you go on over a 3-13 season, like, even if you just replace everybody, is there just like a spell or just like something within a culture that causes you to just lose? Is there something like within a culture that just permeates a building and just kind of curses a culture, and you can't just change it? It's ridiculous, man. David, this is what I'm going to say, though. I'm always going to be a Giants fan, because that one day when the Savior comes, we'll be there. We'll be there. We'll come out of our, little, what do Eskimos live in? They live in freaking, I don't even know, Alaskan, little thing, snow structure. And I'll come out. And we'll come out of our holes and ditches, and then we can say we were there for the dark times. We were there, and I was there for 2 Super Bowl championships during my childhood, man. And Eli and Tom Coughlin, the Giants, give me everything, and they've inspired my love of football. And you got to have a team, man. You got to have a team. You got to ride with your team. And I watch all the other football too, but yeah, being a fan, it's tough. But this is real live emotion, and the future is going to be really exciting. I just hope that they make the right decision. I hope that I don't really want to go forth with Shurmur into the future. It would be fun if they had like Tua or Drew Lock in the future. If they could somehow get Tua and Matt LaFleur, I would be happy. Or Tua and Drew Lock. The problem is we're going to have to wait another year and somehow tank correctly for Tua, but that's what I'm willing to do. They just need magic. They just need magic. They need magic. Yeah. Big Blue for life, you're right. Jaguars are better, I was right about the Kansas City Chiefs. I was wrong about Jacksonville. I might be right on the Jets. I said the Jets would be 4-12. I might be right on the New York Jets for sure. How is everybody doing? So flattered by people coming into the live stream. I will talk about the Bears for sure. I'll talk all about the football games. It was a really exciting Sunday for sure. So I don't know about that. I mean, LaMarcus, like, you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. Like, is it easier than being I don't think it's easier than being a Giants fan, man. I mean, Tony Romo broke your heart. I mean, that Dez game, I mean, having Jason Garrett, I mean, it's not fun either because even though you don't completely suck, you're kind of in purgatory. And I wouldn't get that excited about this offense, man. I mean, this offense isn't even that good still. I don't think you guys have. I don't think Dak's going to bring you a championship. I mean, I'll give you guys credit. Like, your defensive line's good and everything, but Dallas is an okay team, but I don't think that the Dallas Cowboys are like, near the Eagles. I don't think that they're near, the top teams in the NFC, which, right now is pretty crazy. But I think it's been easier being a Giants fan growing up than being Dallas because you guys have never gotten to the big game or an NFC championship game. But, you guys kicked our ass tonight. Congrats on a big win. You guys are, I mean, I love going to Cowboys Stadium, so you guys are pretty good people. Yeah, Eli Apple was playing really well. David, Philip Lindsay, man, was fucking awesome. He saved the day. He's the one bright spot on a very grim day. He's magic. He's the ultimate fighter. He's like a Victor Cruz type of player, man. He is just phenomenal. I believe that somehow, like, if the Giants could have gotten Quentin Nelson or something, I mean, they're going to continue to rebuild and build. And I'm just not sure that Pat Shurmur's the guy to go ahead with towards the times. Like, I'm not sure that I want to continue because Pat Shurmur, he went for it at midfield. He doesn't get the ball out of Eli's hands in time. There were no adjustments being made to stunt blitzes or corner blitzes, and we weren't sitting our guys down like in the hole because when you blitz the corner, you got to have somebody to sit down in the hole. So the problem is, too, and then the Cowboys, which I really give them Rod Marinelli called a brilliant game, they would rush like 4 or 5 guys, right? They'd rush 4 or 5 guys, so then they'd have like 8 people playing zone coverage, so your only throw is underneath. So Eli can either throw it in the triple coverage or get sacked or throw a screen pass. Like, he's not very good anymore. He's very old, but could a really good quarterback have done a lot better? Like, with this lack of coaching and the lack of protection, like, that's still a problem. You're going to have to get a very innovative person. And if you hit the coach right, like a Sean McVay, then you're going to be golden when you finally hit the right coach. When you get that right combination, it can click. Look at Fitzpatrick, look at with the coaches in Tampa, but also look at Sean McVay and look at Jared Goff and the Rams as Exhibit A and Exhibit B. So I love what you're thinking, man. Yes, you could maybe even move Nate Solder to right tackle, a left tackle, absolutely. Pay for guards, just an offensive line. I completely agree. I don't even mind if the defense starts to suck anymore because I think defense could be figured out because look at the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I mean, they're somehow winning ball games, and they just have offensive line's paramount. I mean, it's offensive line or bust, man. Fubzilla. Completely agree. Cutting Davis Webb was just classless. It ruined some chemistry in our team. And, frankly, but I've just given up. I can't control anything anymore. I can only talk to you guys. And the direction I proceed is I continue to ride out this season and then see where the chips fall after the season is over. I would go out and try to get wins whenever I could. I would entertain a lot of things. I would really entertain getting rid of some bad contracts. If you move Beckham for an offensive tackle, I honestly would do it. He's getting wasted here. His talent. It's not like Beckham's a bad guy or not talented. It just makes no sense for him to be playing on our team. It's like sending a kid that's a great basketball player and he's playing with a bunch of slow kids. And then you send him to a prep school. That's what Odell Beckham. It would actually be the best for his career. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm going to be all right. I'm done now. The good news is that I had a little bit of expectation, so that's why I'm sad. I watched the game, and now I'm fine. I'm back to there. I'm back down to there. And I'm always going to cheer for the team. Problem is that you got to get the spark somehow, and it's going to be exciting. I'd love to do trial and error. I'd love to get excited about something new, something fun. So hopefully the team does something fun. Hopefully for the fans out there, we can do something exciting on offense, run an up-tempo scheme, something crazy, something batshit different, where young kids actually say, I like watching this team play football. Like, I just want our team to have an offense out there where young kids go out and when they watch the Giants play, they're excited. As a neutral fan, when I watch the Kansas City Chiefs play football, I'm really freaking excited. When I watch the Bucs playing right now, they're really exciting to watch. And it doesn't mean I'm a fan of them. It doesn't mean I'm bandwagon or don't like the Giants, but I can like watching schemes in the NFL. How about the freaking 49ers with Shanahan? Like, young kids watching those teams. Wow, wow. So, UCF Jaguar, man. I mean, TD Westbrook was incredible. You guys today had an exceptional performance. Blake Bortles playing a lot better. Nathaniel Hackett is calling the game of his damn life, jokingly almost throwing the ball when you're up. Like, he's going to throw the ball when it's 5 seconds left in the game. And I thought the Patriots were going to come back at points during that game, especially during that fumble, but that did not happen. I'll start answering other questions. Would you like Jim Harbaugh as your coach? He would be fun to give a try for like 2 years. But that offense is pretty boring, but I'd maybe like him over Shermer. Dean, I've loved the Ryan Fitzpatrick look at the post game, man. That was incredible. I'm loving this Fitzmagic thing. I mean, I'm happy for the guy. I'm not a Fitzpatrick believer. I told you guys the Jets made the wrong decision. The offensive scheme's good around him, so I like what's going on. Yeah, I like Drew Lock a lot. So, listen, if the Giants get Drew Lock, that would be hilarious. That would be awesome. But you look at the teams right now that are going to be drafting number 1 overall. There's a lot of teams that have quarterbacks already filled. So the good news is the Giants might have their chance. I mean, what quarterbacks, who needs a quarterback? The Dolphins are doing okay right now with Tannehill. The Bengals are doing okay. The Ravens, who really needs a quarterback? The Buccaneers. What teams need quarterbacks now? What teams need quarterbacks, huh? Payback, how you doing, man? What's up, guys? How is everybody? It's great to check in with you guys after a crazy football Sunday. You know what I'm going to do? I think Jonah Williams might be, or Greg Little, Alabama and Ole Miss. Case Keenum. Case Keenum had a big game today, man. Case Keenum had a lights-out performance to win the game. It was a huge win for the Denver Broncos. Derek Carr was phenomenal today. John Gruden, by the way, John Gruden's a lot better coach than Shermer thus far. John Gruden worth the $10 million a year. He was outstanding today. Derek Carr didn't miss a pass. John Gruden almost went into Denver and got a win. He did almost everything to win that football game. He called a truly special game. What a truly special bounce-back game for John Gruden. What a truly special bounce-back game. Should the Giants have began the rebuild this year? After what I'm seeing right now, and Saquon can be a rebuilding player now, the rebuild might have actually meant like getting Quentin Nelson, getting Hernandez, and Nate Solder, so getting another lineman piece. But the problem was I didn't love any of the quarterbacks coming out this year. I mean, Josh Rosen could still be really good. Josh Allen and Baker can be good. Darnold's okay. I don't like any of those quarterbacks all that much, to be honest. You got to like the right quarterback. You got to hit on a transcendent player. The Redskins are going to be looking in the market for a quarterback, and it just shows you that the Vikings made great decision going for it. The Chiefs made a brilliant, brilliant decision. They knew last year that Alex Smith that they could jettison him. And there was a reason why Andy Reid made that decision to get rid of Alex Smith. And they combined great coaching with talent. And there's other systems where Mahomes would be, whether it be in the Miami system or say John Fox was coaching Mahomes, where Mahomes would be directionless and he would look terrible. So similarly to Bill O'Brien, it's like the Houston Texans are kind of in the same kind of problem. I think Sam Darnold might be in a little bit of a problem as well. So you need to have everything in place well for a rookie quarterback. Davis Webb is always going to keep chomping. Maybe Webb will come coach the Giants. Davis Webb. Hey, Chef. Nail on the head, man. Nail on the freaking head, bro. The dump offs, there's no explosive plays. I almost want Eli Manning or whoever's playing quarterback, but Eli. I want him to throw the ball fucking like 30 yards down the field just one time for me. I don't even care if it gets picked off. Just show me that it's there. Just take a fucking shot. Take a damn shot. Take a shot. And payback, you're right. But Ben McAdoo was a complete jerk-off, treated the players poorly. Lee Shermer's a little bit of a better guy. He's a better guy. I've disagreed with the decision. He was ruthless with his cuts of Thompson and Webb, I'll tell you that. He was ruthless there in the offseason. He's emotionless. He's not a rah-rah John Gruden guy at all. He's not a Steve Wilkes. He's not friendly at all. He's not fun to play. I don't know if these guys are having fun playing football yet. And the Mariners, you know what Pat Shermer's like, and I said this when they hired him. I got on board with Shermer because he's, coached in the NFL before, but I thought it was like settling, I thought it's almost like you're a guy just wandering and you're 35 years old and you're single, you have zero confidence, and you're just like, let's just marry like a 4 or 5 looking girl instead of going for like a 9 or a 10. That's like a 23-year-old or something. I don't fucking care. It's an analogy. I don't care what statistically he does. I think he needs to start throwing more picks. He was better when he was throwing interceptions. The top 10 guys at throwing interceptions, and a lot of guys hate interceptions, but the top 10 guys to throw the most interceptions are Dan Marino, Brett Favre, Eli Unitas, Drew Brees, just a lot of guys. I mean, look at that top 10 list. Peyton Manning, you'd be shocked at that top 10 list of the most interceptions. Like, Mahomes was throwing interceptions every day in the practice sessions, in the training camp sessions. Big Ben, like, throwing interceptions, like, again, who gives a shit about that? It's about winning football games. Who gives a crap about the statistics? They're horrible. Horrible. Pat Shermer, the going for it, there's no urgency, there's no blitz calling, there were no deep shots, and I knew. Let me tell you about something. My dad was watching the game with me. When Saquon had that run near the 3-yard line, I didn't even move. This was my expression. Because I knew a field goal was coming. I knew the Giants would fuck it up. I knew that there'd be a holding. I knew that when they got the Giants, you know what? The Giants can have the ball. Listen, please. I'll be quiet, okay? I'll be quieter. Hey, please. The Giants can have the ball at the freaking 1-inch line. They can be this close to the end zone. And I have zero confidence in them scoring in the red zone. Just zero. Zero. I need to be quiet. People in my house are sleeping. You know what's fun, though, entertainer? You know what's fun, Giants fans, is that when we come back, when we rise from these ashes, we're going to be the ones that are smiling. We're going to be the ones that help rise. We're going to be the ones, not the bandwagon riders that come with us. We are the resistance. We are the group of Giants fans. This group is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller because people are quitting. People are quitting. Could be 5, could be 10. At least we don't have 0. At least we're not the Lions. At least we have 0. I thought today Nathaniel Hackett called a great game. Jalen Ramsey talking a lot of smack. Michelle ran really well. Michelle ran really well today for the Patriots. The Jaguars are just D.D. Westbrook's just really good, and Blake Bortles is mobile. They even have a more fun offense than the Giants. I'm not sure about Jacksonville. I mean, maybe their defense will just keep playing and playing. It's amazing. Like, how long is this going to be sustained? Because this year they're still looking good. So I got that one wrong. It's fun predicting Finns, though. And the Giants are probably the biggest disappointment, but they're dead. This was one of the worst performances that I've seen a team play. And there's no coming back from scoring 3 or whatever. I didn't even watch the last part of the game. I don't think so. I mean, I liked what Michelle did. And you see Brady and Belichick, and maybe Belichick will want to coach the Giants, but the Patriots, like, you can tell that it's almost over with these guys. So it's crazy. And I mean, NFL, though, is still great. And the good news is, like, if you're I watch the NFL, I'm a fan, you know. Having the Giants be terrible is definitely a hole. It definitely creates interesting conversations, though, for the channel. It makes sports radio really interesting. I'm sure people will listen to Mike, Francesa, and Sports Radio 950 up there. But, you know, the NFL is just a beautiful product. This Cleveland Browns game today was just a beautiful game to watch. The Vikings game had so much drama. The NFL it truly is a beautiful sport right now. I mean, you have coaches, new quarterbacks. It's really exciting. The Chiefs are exciting. The Chargers, the Bills, everybody's building. The Jets and the Dolphins game. I mean, this whole league right now, you could wrap your whole head, you could wrap your body around it and embrace it. I mean, these 1 o'clock games were phenomenal today. Phenomenal. And Matthew, yes, Fitzpatrick was back, and that makes it even more sad is that you thought they could compete in this divisions, but maybe we'll all be wrong, just like I'm wrong all the time. This is not 07, I don't think, because Eli just doesn't have the pop anymore at the quarterback position, and this defense is not showing any creativity, and the offense has no creativity, and we've watched 2 games, and Pat Shurmur was a dud in Cleveland, and you know what? Pat Shurmur in Minnesota, he called pretty conservative plays, and there wasn't a lot of excitement in that offense either. It would get to like 20 points, but that defense carried Shurmur. He's just okay. He's just a bland dude. He's a bland coach and a bland dude. Dope boy. I mean, Josh Allen looked all right. I liked his body. I liked his expressions today. Like, he was very upbeat. He missed a couple of throws, but Josh at least will throw it down the field. And I still like the kid's talent, and he's very young. And continue to give him at least 3 years to figure it out before you could tell he sucks. Give him 3 years to win some ball games. I like how the kid competes. I do. I like how these kids compete. Sam Darnold competed well. He's not my style of quarterback. He's just like Lauletta isn't. I mean, there's good quarterbacks like Rivers, like Sam Darnold that throw little passes, but I'm more of a Mahomes guy. I'm more of Josh Allen. I like the deep ball thrower, so I kind of hope the Giants get that type of guy. But I might just start being a guy that just observes. If I was leading this franchise, if I was an owner, I would let this thing ride out. But then this is going to be Eli's last year almost more than likely. If they don't make the playoffs, Eli is gone for sure. I don't like Lauletta that much. You know, he's just kind of boring to me. He's a decent guy, but I'd draft Drew Lock. I'd let Lauletta leave, like kind of like AJ McCarron, and let him go somewhere else and be a pretty good player. But I want a transcendent player. I want a Drew Lock, a guy whose talent can just explode. A Daniel Jones, maybe a real talent. maybe Justin Herbert. He's fast enough, but I don't want Trubisky. And even if the guy sucks, like a Josh Allen, if you took him and he sucked, I mean, at least you're taking a chance. I'd rather have Drew Lock than Justin Herbert. And you know what's funny is that we are back again. We are right back into the bottom of draft discussion. Draft discussion's hot. It's open 24/7, man. You know what it's like? It's like the insomnia cookies. The New York Giants are the insomnia cookies of the bottom of the draft. You know, it's like insomnia north is Cleveland and Buffalo. And we're getting an insomnia cookies franchise for the NFL draft, for the bottom of the draft, man. We're the insomnia cookies for the bottom of the draft. We're always looking at the draft. We're talking draft season, man. We should start driving to Nashville right now. We should start driving our car to Nashville right now for that draft. Just move out in the Meadowlands. Just move that bubble that we have. And listen, we're always open, man. Draft talk season's always upon us, man. We dipped out. You know what? We dipped out. Insomnia Cookies was closed for like a day, and now we're right back into the damn draft talk. I don't have school tomorrow. You guys want me to get Insomnia Cookies now, huh? Have a couple classes tomorrow. I kind of understand what you're saying, Susan. It's like, do you want to see the Giants build, or do you want to see them try to get good? And I kind of like the Shermer move. I like the Saquon move because I liked everything that they did. I was in favor of the Barkley move, and I'm not a Darnold fan, so it's not like I'm kicking myself. Like, if Tua was there, I would have kicked myself. If Jimmy Garoppolo was there, if Mahomes was there, I would have kicked myself for that decision. Like, if the Giants passed on Mahomes, I'd be kicking myself. If even Deshaun Watson, I would be kicking myself. But Sam Darnold, I'm just not kicking myself. He's just not a transcendent talent. He's going to be very, very good, but I can live with it. I can live with him in the same city as me. If Mahomes was in the same city, that would be a lot rougher. But in terms of your question, they tried to win now, and they tried it. And for that, I could say thank you. I can thank Dave Gettleman. I can thank Mike Shula, even though all Panthers fans told me that Mike Shula was shit. James Betcher last year was terrible. There's a reason that he was let go as well. But Mike Shula was shit. And the Giants got Saquon and Will Hernandez. Lorenzo Carter played well today in the game. Ogletree played well. So it's not like the draft class is all that horrible, right? It's not like Will Hernandez isn't going to get better at being a guard. You know, the Giants did everything I wanted, and they gave Eli the last chance. And unfortunately, not everything is going to go perfectly. And this O-line wasn't good enough. And when you have a quarterback that's that old, you know, I've seen enough now. You know, like, you fought with Eli. It was about Ben. You know, you were willing to give him one more chance. The least you can do. You know, you still have Landon Collins. You have Janoris Jenkins and Vernon's an older player. It's like, give them a chance to win a championship and let the starting quarterback have one more ride. And that's what the Giants did. And I'm totally fine with letting Eli have one more ride. I was totally fine. I was totally fine with having Eli and getting Eli to have one more ride, you know, and I'm fine with everything that happened. And it didn't work out, but the Giants gave Eli a chance. They got him a new coach, and he's been great for the franchise, and I'm thankful for the time that he's given us. But after this year, when the Giants don't make the playoffs, it's, you know, if he wants to continue to play, he's gonna play elsewhere, and kind of like his brother. And that's what's gonna happen, is that the Giants are going to, you know, talk to Eli and see where he wants to go, and we'll handle it after the season's over. Chef, I don't think Eli's playing next year, man. I mean, you look at that guy. I mean, he can barely walk anymore. Feel bad for the poor guy. I mean, Jalen Smith just lit him up today. It's almost like Kurt Warner when he got lit up the by the people that are the bounty people. It's when Kurt Warner got lit up by the bounty people. That's what that hit kind of looked like. Jesus is my king 7-7. That 49ers game next week is going to be epic. I'm going to make a Niners video. What a win today. You just had to get a win. The Jimmy G interception was freaking nuts. I mean, the media would have never talked about that. The holding call looked almost like a phantom holding call, to be honest. But it was a really nice win. Troy, how are you? The 49ers, they found a way to get a win. That's all that matters. This team has talent. The pass rush is getting there. They're really showing flashes of being a good team. You know, the offense put up 30 today. Matt Breida had a nice run. They actually show signs of life. Denver Broncos getting a very clutch win. Oakland Raiders. Right now, teams are showing signs of life, and the NFL is a fun, competitive product because there's not that many shitty teams anymore in this NFL. Even the Bengals are not shitty. Like, it's a fun product. And actually, the Giants and the Bills are some of the shittiest teams in the league. But, yeah. I don't think Blake Bortles is that good. He's just a decent athlete, even the way he throws it. You know, schematically, it was a very well-called game. But I've seen Bortles throw the ball, and I don't think he's going to be a consistently really good quarterback. And I think he has a lot of help with him defensively, and I know Bortles can't control that. We'll see if the guy can win another division and keep it up. But he played well. The New York Jets, you know, the good news is Sam Darnold showed a lot of signs of playing really well. I just want to see a coach with more emphasis, with more high energy. And I think the Jets, you know, they might promote Jeremy Bates from within. I just don't know if I'd like that. I really like DeFilippo a lot, or Matt LaFleur. But the New York Jets, you know, they have some talent. And I actually like the way Darnold's playing. Even though he threw 2 picks, like you saw a lot of Sam Darnold today. And the New York Jets are not completely terrible. They're not like the Giants right now, actually. It's astonishing how bad the Giants are. But the New York Jets, like, you know, Kiko Alonso is such a dirty kind of player. He's a guy that you hate if you're – there's only, like, the Dolphins and Kiko's family. Other than that, he is one of the more hateable players. And that's kind of fun for the NFL to have real villains like that. He is such a villain for sure, Kiko Alonso. Entertainer. Let's just freaking just draft as many linemen as possible. Let's just do what Dallas did. Have the most boring draft. Hog Molly City. Just start feeding these guys. Just complete linemen. Maybe hire an offensive line coach as our next head coach. And just completely it's all about the line. I don't care about any players. I'm almost sick. You know what I'm kind of tired of? Like, everybody in the media talks about how damn good the Giants are because they have all, you know, the flashiness of Ingram, of Odell, and everybody plays fantasy football. But again, you got to understand that doesn't really mean anything. And the Kansas City Chiefs, they probably have a great offensive line. And once you have a great offensive line, then you can show off the toys that you have. And the cool thing about Kansas City, too, is that Sammy Watkins is so quiet. And they're just like all these Midwestern dudes that like Watkins and Chris Conley and Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, that they're not even like these amazingly high-paid guys. Maybe Watkins is. But so far, they're content just getting like a couple of catches each. It's not just one amazing player. So, Kansas City, yeah. They got a couple of linemen. They got Hernandez and Nate Solder, but it's not good enough. No, man, it's not good enough. No, the OT rules are fine. They're exciting. Yeah, I mean, Barkley will still be good, Troy. The Giants will have a new quarterback then. You know, I'm fine. If the Giants draft a great quarterback, we're not going to be talking about Sam Darnold again. We're going to be talking about, you know, Drew Lock or Tua. That's what we're going to be talking about. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's coaching, though. It's like putting these guys in position to be successful. So I like the ties. I don't mind. It screws everybody up. It leaves the standings all awry. It's so exciting. Daniel Carlson, that Vikings Packers game was incredible. The Browns Steelers game was compelling as hell. I mean, I'm in it for a compelling product. Justin Herbert's a really good guy, great leader, incredible intangibles. Him and Drew Lock are really, really good. Daniel Jones is really, really good. Even Dwayne Haskins might be good. Who knows if Haskins is quick enough? That's the one thing, is that Haskins is a huge guy, but can he be quick enough? Like, is he going to be a guy that can get the ball out of his hands quickly? Because he has a great arm, but I don't want a guy who's stuck in the mud quarterback, like a Nick Foles, like a Geno Smith. So when you talk about the quarterbacks. All right. You're right. Too much tanking. But we'll see what happens next week. And the problem with next week is the Texans are going to be out for revenge. I mean, Fuller still had a big touchdown today. So, I mean, we're going to see what happens. But it was a hell of an NFL Sunday. Hell of a freaking Sunday, man. Hell of a Sunday. Ties are fine. Most games will not end in a tie. Myles Garrett's playing really well. They just got to make winning plays, the Cleveland Browns. Tyrod can't be throwing that pick there to the Saints. They're really close. Mobile quarterback, I don't know. Yeah, it's still 2 games in the season, but the Giants were just so terrible that I'm not going to get suckered into believing. I need to see at least a couple of performances. I think the Giants are done, but we'll see. I think that they're so far away. I just think they were so terrible tonight. I'm still going to watch them, and I'll tell you if they do better or not. It's fun talking quarterbacks and coaches, though. Hey, that's why we do it on the show. It's fun. If I was the Giants general manager, I think Drew Lock is head and shoulders the best guy to take. If I was looking at coaches, I would look at either Kevin O'Connell of the Redskins, either Matt LaFleur. I think LaFleur is the guy I'd lean towards, but I have to see if he has enough fire and juice. You got to look around the league at what guys have fire, what guys have juice. And it has to be an offensive guy. I don't know. I mean, Kulaks, I mean, I believe Drew Lock is great. I think he has so much talent. I love what I see from the kid. I mean, the kid's playing right now in a college system. If Jameis gets traded, Miami's a possibility. It has to be a pretty good football team. We'll see what the Rams can do. No, I think the Rams will be fine. It's tough. You start to think of the teams in the NFL. I mean, maybe the Chargers, you have to look at where the guys are getting old. You look at Pittsburgh, maybe. Pittsburgh would maybe be a really good spot. I get that point, Trayshawn. I think Kirk Cousins is pretty damn good as well. He's a good quarterback. Very, very good player. So I totally understand that point as well. I do. I think Kirk Cousins was clutch today. And Adam Thielen, I mean, he was really, really clutch. Mason Rudolph is nothing. No, he is not very good at all. Anyway, guys, I'm probably going to head out here in about a minute. Tonight, I'm going to talk about the 49ers and the Broncos games. I'm going to break them down. We are all, this week, if the film reviews gets out, I'm going to try to do a lot of film reviews. Might go on a couple of shows. I'll let you guys know. I go on NBNY a lot. So NBNY is a site where I go on that show where I'm allowed to be on a live stream. And it's interesting because I'm on a live stream, but I'm with Chris the Entertainer. I'm with Jet Central. So I I'm on a live stream, and it's really fun to watch. NBNY, it's really a great. It's fun because everybody's on a live stream. I want to have some of you guys eventually, like when we're doing this live video, I want you guys to be able to come into the live stream and talk. Nick Gerse, how are you, Nick? Doug, thanks. I'll take a couple more questions. We just have too many freaking people in here right now. I'll tell you my thoughts on the early games. And again, my voice will hopefully get better. Right now, it's just a brutal cold. But the Washington Redskins, and thanks, Entertainer, the Washington Redskins are frauds. Frauds. Jay Gruden is a damn fraud, man. He got me good. He really suckered me in a little bit. Well, he didn't get me good. I thought that they could have been frauds, but now I know that they are frauds. New York Jets are not ready to win yet with Todd Bowles. They come crashing back down. Vontae Davis retiring at halftime is epic. It's the most Vontae Davis thing kind of ever. That was absolutely crazy. Crazy to me that Vontae Davis retired at halftime. He's just like, I'm getting my shit. I'll see you guys. And I wondered how that whole thing went and if nobody saw him or if he just left the stadium. He should have recorded a live stream talking to people going into the stands. He just hates playing football so much now that, or maybe his teammates told him to retire. The Bills somehow came out and played a lot better when it was gone, when he left. John Gruden was spectacular. Derek Carr didn't miss a throw. They almost went into Denver and won. I'm going to do a film review on that. I mean, Denver has one of the best defenses in the league, and it's a travesty that they almost didn't win the game. And I know I have a lot of Denver fans, and I picked Denver to win, but I was almost rooting for John Gruden because it was just such an admirable performance by Derek Carr, and I was wrong on Carr. I said, it's time for Carr to leave. Said it was wrong for Carr to leave. But, man, Vontae Davis just getting the hell out of town, just saying, I'm done with this bullshit. I'm done with the Buffalo Bills. And then the teammates just, oh, my gosh. I mean, that's one of the craziest things I can ever imagine. I'm done. He should have just held up his cleats into the air and said, you know what? I'm freaking done. I was done. But, yeah, Doug Lass. I was wrong on Derek Carr as well. I was wrong on Derek Carr. I mean, the dude came out. He didn't miss a throw, and they lost the football game. I don't know how that's possible. How? And then I was watching every play. The Broncos guys would get their feet, and like they had so many throws where their feet were just out of bounds, and they somehow snuck around and won. So it was insane, man. It was insane. But I know you guys love Vontae Davis, man. Vontae Davis is like, I can't play for Buffalo anymore. I'm sick of the cold. He's hilarious, man. I've never seen a dude do that at halftime. West Coast offense, a lot of completions. That's right. But Amari Cooper was catching throws every single minute of that game. And then Detroit hung on in there and played really well. Detroit played really well today. Matt Stafford and Patricia got their shit together. But again, Matt Breida with the long touchdown run. Oh, man. David Neal. The dude almost missed the field goal. McManus. But it was frustrating. I'd say the whole game was frustrating, man, because you're waiting for Denver to get that rock back. Phillip Lindsay. I mean, I hope that Royce Freeman gains a little bit of speed. I traded for Royce Freeman in fantasy. And he's just, I hope he becomes the rookie of the year somehow this year. I mean, let's see him get off to a nice start. Oh, my God. What an entertaining game that was. Doug, you're the man, dude. But your Fire Todd Bowles club is, I'll tell you, Doug, it's getting real, man, because that was a real Todd Bowles-like game today. Dante Dion, freaking, what do we have? Ladarius Webb or something. Yeah, I think it's another Webb. Oh, my God. Curtis O'Reilly overrunning that. I didn't even turn on the Giants game. They were down 7-0. I need to look up what the hell happened. Doug Lass. Giants Pats 3. I was ready for the trilogy. But to tell you the truth, I'm kind of happy that's just 2-0. It's like World War I and II, and I'm happy just being undefeated. Yeah, Phil Lindsay's a beast. Luckily, you try to get both in a package deal. But what running back would he be like? Chris Johnson? I mean, he's so small as a running back. Maybe like a Ty Montgomery. He is really small. Yeah, it was amazing, man. They were down 7-0, and I'm like, oh, this is a bad omen. And you know what? We spoke so much shit on Dallas for that Carolina performance. Landon Collins calling out Dak. It wasn't a smart thing to do at all. It really wasn't. It wasn't a smart thing to do to call out Dak Prescott, and he played a decent football game. You just don't need to fire people up, I guess. I guess it's better to, Dak's not that good, though. We held him in check. The defense played all right. No explosive defensive plays, but it's exactly like last year, and that's the scary, scary thing. And you can only look at a couple of people that are constant, and that's the personnel, the quarterback, and you need a young, fresh quarterback that can throw the ball down the field. And I mean, if Shermer isn't the guy, then get rid of him. Who cares about keeping guys? Who cares about what the freaking media thinks about dealing in coaches? If you don't have the right one, get the right one. If your car sucks, get a car that's better. If your girlfriend is not great, let's go down the analogy list. Anything that's not great, get another one. Oh, you're the Cleveland Browns. Is it a you problem? If you're the owner of the football team and your product sucks, get rid of it. So get linemen and get the heck rid of it. If Shermer continues to suck, stop with this year one stuff. He's a grown man, and there's no signs. If there has to be signs that the program is going in the right direction. There has to be signs, Yeah, there has to be signs that this guy, and what does Shermer bring to the table? In Cleveland, he was okay. In Philly, it was Chip Kelly. Guy's had one good year in Minnesota, and then he's been an average coach since. He's just been in the league a while. What is the upside? What are you waiting for with Pat Shermer? What are you waiting for to be special? What are you guys excited to see with Pat Shermer? What is he hiding? Will he grow at the end of the year, and will this team be firing on all cylinders? He got 16 games to prove something, and right now he's in a big-time hole. I'll tell you what. The running, Saquon Barkley made so many plays tonight. He was the one guy. It's a one-man team. And then Rod Marinelli just completely he exposed the New York Giants with all those twists and turns. It's almost like the Giants had no idea how to play football tonight. And it got to the point where when Eli got sacked and fumbled, all I could do was laugh. Because, my dad's like, what's happening in this football game? And I'm like, you haven't missed shit. And then the Saquon run was the biggest run. It was like a 10-yard gain. I'm like, holy shit, what the hell was that? 10 yards? So I said, you didn't miss shit. And I told him that Eli Manning can only throw the ball like 5 yards. And he's just getting sacked. He's just getting iglooed in. He's just getting snowed in every single play. And when the guy got sacked, it was the most predictable thing ever. And then what did they run? They ran this freaking what was it? Second and goal. No, it was first and goal. Jason Garrett accepted the penalty. And when they were in the red zone, they ran this draw play. And then they ran this little hook route. And then he threw the ball, I think, in the triple cut. I don't even think the Giants even threw it into the damn end zone. I can't even remember that series. I can't even remember. It's just so I can't even remember any offensive good plays in the whole game. I mean, Beckham, maybe one slant route in the whole damn game. Just too old. Too old. I'll answer your question. I'll take Matt LaFleur, but I want to see more from the Titans. But he was going in the Wildcat. He was innovative today, Matt LaFleur. I'll give him the early nod, Big Blue for life. I'll take LaFleur. Eli Manning. It's a combination of everything. And this is not the right guy to play in the system right now. I mean, There's just no coaching, no adjustments on the fly, no helping these people, no communications, no screen passes, no trick plays, no innovation, no attacking the weaknesses. I don't know what the weakness of Dallas's defense is, but maybe Dallas will just never let up a touchdown all year. But he did it Lattimore on the one play. The problem is, I think that Dallas, this is what I truly think was happening. I think Dallas was bringing 4 people every time, and they had like 8 people in coverage. It looked like Dallas had 50 players on the field today because Eli Manning, it looked like there were 10 guys on Eli Manning every play. Like, it looked like he had no time to throw, and then he'd throw deep. And there were somehow more Dallas Cowboys players right where he was throwing. He was throwing it. It didn't make any sense. It's like the Cowboys are blitzing every play. Chris Collinsworth is saying, well, the Giants are picking up the blitz. The Giants are picking up who they're supposed to pick up, but that was a schematical sack. And then Eli Manning's throwing the ball, and he's throwing in the triple coverage. Like, it seemed like Dallas was playing with 100 defenders today. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like they were playing with 100 defenders. That's what it seemed like. Dallas had a whole army of defenders on the field, and they were playing with 50 people on the damn field today. That's how amazingly inept that this offense was. Amazing. Giants should sign a lot of guys right now. Kaepernick can run better than Eli, that's for sure. David Neal. Giants should sign Kaepernick. He would do better than Eli. He definitely would with this offense. Whew. Did the Steelers miss Todd Haley? Their defense sucks, man. They just need something fresh. They need some defensive pop. That's a weird culture, too. The Steelers used to be a great defense. That's a weird culture. I don't know why they can't play defense anymore, but they've just been missing on draft picks like Arnie Burns. They have no talent in the secondary. TJ Watt's a really good pick, but they lost Shazier. They're not hitting. They're not playing Steeler defense at all. They've lost their identity, and that's the problem why Pittsburgh's no good anymore, is because their identity that won them Super Bowls was defense and timely quarterbacking play, and they've lost that identity completely from their team, and that's amazing to see. And they've put no resources in defense, and they draft wrong, and Mike Tomlin is just okay, and not a terrible coach, but could be interesting if Tomlin wants to go to the Giants or something, or if one of the Harbaughs comes open, because it really could be happening. That really could be happening. Anthony, is that really true? Doug, you cracked me up, man. Because I read that Pepper Johnson piece, and that must have been, you probably framed that on your refrigerator, sir. I mean, that was hilarious, man. Steelers are not terrible. They're somehow going to figure out a way to win the NFC North. It really is kind of embarrassing. But, yeah, that Pepper Johnson piece was really interesting about him listening. So what's good is talking about the Green Bay Packers, and played admirable today. Mason Crosby with a chance to win the game. Really well-played game. 2 very good football teams. I'm excited to see that. Josh Gordon's not a terrible dude. I think he's a pretty attractive player for people to go after. 6'4", a lot of talent. You can get him nice and cheap and just have a good support system. I think he's a guy who can get his life turned around. He got hurt at a promotional shoot, which is pretty dumb, to be doing. But the Browns have Callaway anyway. So I think the Cowboys should give him a chance, honestly, because the Cowboys are not going to be that good unless Josh Gordon comes on. I mean, maybe the Raiders, maybe Pittsburgh will be a good spot, because you need to go to a team like the Chargers or the Steelers where you have a short window and you need to go balls to the wall right now. The Giants can sign him for 1 year, maybe. Why not? I mean, this is the last year of Eli Manning to me. So Um, David, he does, which is Colorado. But unfortunately, the league is too tough on weed. Maybe that's controversial to people that are conservative on weed. But hey, I don't want to get into that kind of discussion about maybe weed. But I maybe with the NFL, I don't think it's that big of a deal. John Niner, what is up, man? I think the Niners offense is fine, though. The Niners are ready to win a championship, and Josh is honestly a distraction. He is. He's a media circus. He's unpredictable off the field. You don't know when he's going to be getting hurt. I just think, and the 49ers are not desperate. He needs to go to a team that the 49ers are building. They're a young core with Dante Pettis. I don't think the 49ers, I mean, would it be exciting if the 49ers acquired him? It would be, but I just don't know. Are they interested in him? Nah, I don't know. That Josh Gordon discussion's interesting though, guys, isn't it? Man, this is fun. Talking to you guys tonight. It was a hell of a live stream, man. That's a really good point. But Cleveland isn't exactly, David, I don't think that Cleveland's exactly the rockin' oasis of a place to get in trouble either. So he said that Green Bay would be a tough place to get in trouble. But Cleveland, Ohio, I don't know. Thank you guys so much. It was a great live stream. It was. So many people coming in to hang out. So it's fun. You get some subbies and get some people to come in. Hopefully voice will be a little bit better. I'll be snuffed up all the time. But fuck it. You got to do fucking live streams. And I got a lot of shit off my chest. I'll maybe concise it into maybe a 10-minute video on the New York Giants, what they should do. Maybe pour out the heartstrings a little bit and have some fun. Also talk about the Niners and Broncos. And shit, we're probably going to have so many film reviews. There's just so many to get to. What I'm going to do is Niners I'll go in depth on. I'll probably go in depth on freaking Oakland. I have to. It was amazing. Mahomes I'll do. Whatever film reviews do you guys want before I jet out? Sam Darnold, Josh Allen. Yeah. No, not high. Oh, man. Thank you guys so much. Tanner, I completely agree, bro. Trubisky tomorrow, Mike Lowry. Peace out, y'all. Have a great, great night. Thanks so much for joining the show. I'll see y'all. Be good. See ya.